All right, weekend recap. So we ended up going to Muncie last night, so Saturday. Basically, we got there early in the morning, but the event ran until about 10 o'clock at night. The only negative was they had to test and tune from, let me think here, noon to 2. So we were only able to get 2 passes in there, and then we ended up making one more pass after that, but I'll go ahead and recap all that. So we started off with the same tune-up we left off at with Dragway 42. So that tune-up ended up making 10 pounds of boost with the better air at Muncie. So on the trans brake, we made 10 pounds of boost. That was way too much on the trans brake. It just knocked the tire off. So first pass, we spun, knocked the tire off. Drove a little bit left, but it's kind of hard to say that because it spun. So got it cooled down, went up for the second pass about 30, maybe 40 minutes later, and went up there, basically I took 2 pounds off the gate on the trans brake, so it ended up making 6 pounds instead of 10. So that was perfect. Then I took 1 pound off of it just off of the brake, and then 1 pound off of it at 0.7 just to kind of lighten up the tune up a little bit just to try to get down the track. So that ended up working. So left on 6 pounds, went 118 60 foot. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now what happened here was really strange, and I honestly don't know exactly what happened, but I was just getting ready to pull the 1-2 shift, and the car just it felt like it knocked the tire off. It just instantly hit the rev limiter. So I just lightly lifted, clicked second gear, like it was all in the same motion, and was right back in it, and all was good. So it was just really weird. I'm like, okay, we're still going. So I stayed in it, ran it out, and that ended up going an 8.0 at 169 with 118 60 foot. So, I mean, we are right there. My goal is that 790, 780 range, but you got to crawl before you can run. And basically, we're right there. That tune up is real close. So okay, I see what we need to do here. We added 1 more pound on the gate for the next pass. That way, let's try to go 115, 114 to the 60. And then I made the boost ramp a little quicker, and I added about 4 pounds of gate pressure at 1.8 seconds into the run. So I was trying to make about 26, 27 pounds on this pass. I wanted to go 780s. I mean, let's put some power to this thing. So went up there, got it staged. It made 7 pounds, let go of the brake. It went about 3 foot and knocked the tire off. So I kind of coasted for probably about 2 seconds and then got into it just because I wanted to see what kind of boost it made down track with the added gate pressure and see how air fuel was. So I went ahead and did that, and I thought I started to feel it break up, and I looked over at the air fuel and it was 11.4, 11.5 and climbing. So I lifted, looked at the plugs, and yep, it was definitely going lean. So we had an issue there. So I went ahead and looked at the boost, and it was going 28, 29 pounds, 28, 29 pounds, 28, 29 pounds. So that extra gate pressure definitely worked. It's going to act a little bit different when it runs through the ramp like it should. I really think it's going to make more like 27 pounds. But what I do know is at 28, 29 pounds, we run out of fuel. So the tune-up on the 8.0 pass was just a touch lean, and that was tuning off my leanest cylinder. So the other cylinders look perfect. I think I could maybe band-aid it a little bit by fattening up the tune-up a little bit everywhere, but I think we're going to run into a wall right there at 28, 29 pounds where we're actually out of fuel pump. And the fuel pump is more than capable of doing the volume we need. It's just this isn't the right application for this fuel pump for that kind of pressure demand. So we have that A3000 pump. That pump is awesome. Aeromotive's been great to us. Nothing but great things to say. Enzo over at Aeromotive has treated us great. So I think it's time for a fuel pump upgrade. Well, I know it's time for a fuel pump upgrade. So I need to get a hold of those guys and talk to them and see what they're thinking. I know what I'm thinking, so see what makes the most sense. Even though it was kind of a aborted pass and we didn't get the ET we were after, we did learn something. We learned we're not going to be able to run 28, 29 pounds with what we've currently have. And I did the math. I knew that was going to be the case. I was just hoping I'd be a little bit wrong and it would make it. Mathematically, it's like 26, 27 pounds, and we're going to be out of fuel. So, turns out the math was correct. But I'm not mad. We're right there. If we didn't have to pedal it and hit the rev limiter there on that 8.0 pass, it would have been the 7. It kind of lined up to what we talked about before. I really felt like the tune-up we had in it at Dragway 42 was enough to go a 7, and that's 100% accurate. We took a little bit of power out of it from that tune-up and still went an 8.0 pedal in it. So she'll definitely go 7s, but I'm greedy. I'm looking past the 7, I don't even want to go 90s. I want to go 80s and, faster. But I don't know, 770s, 7080s, right in there. I'll be happy with it. But we got quite a bit we're going to do this winter. Got a lot of good ideas. I've got to check over the rear end. It's definitely making more noise than what it ever has. We're definitely going to do some body work to this thing this winter. I'm super excited about that. I hate body work, but I'm excited to actually get this car looking good again. So that's really exciting. And yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone that's helped me out this season. I've got a lot of good friends, just a lot of good people around me, and I can't say enough good things about them. So it's kind of thanks to all of them. I could list them all off, but it would take me forever. So you guys know who you are, and I really do appreciate it. Same thing with Aeromotive, Kevin at CSU, just all the guys that have helped us out. We really appreciate it. So yeah, we're gonna keep making this thing faster and keep having some fun with it. That's the main thing. Is I just want to have fun with this car. That's always what I've done with this car. I'm getting a little bit caught up in ET right now, but I haven't really pushed this car in years. This is the same combination I've ran for like 6, 7 years now. So I want to get after a little bit next year and put up some good times, get some good ET out of it. But give you guys some information on the radial versus the slick. So kind of impressively, so like I said, these radials are 7 years old and we just went a 118/60 on them. Our second time ever on radials. So I'm really happy with that. I have zero doubt we can go like a 114, 115, but we need some new radials. I'm going to try the Pro brackets instead of these ones are like that older Pro Street bracket or something like that. So I want to try a different radial, but the information I want to give you is that 6 pounds of boost, we had a slower ramp leaving with that 6 pounds on a radial. So we left on 6, but we slowed down the ramp. That went a 118/60 foot. That same tune-up with more boost coming in quicker on a slick would go like a 126/60 foot. So it kind of just shows you the difference of a radial to a slick. I actually took a little bit of power out of it, made the ramp a little slower, but left on the same boost and went faster to the 60. So this radial is real impressive from that standpoint. It seems to really transfer the power to the ground and make the car a lot quicker to the 60. Beyond that, it's all about the same. It's definitely a little bit more stable down track, but the tips that I would have to give with the radial, you've got to make sure you're on a good track, and you've got to make sure your front end's really tied down, slowed down. I think even where we ended, my front end was still a little bit too fast. So we're on 13 from clicks in tight. We can go to 18. I think we need to be more like 14, 15. And we only have 2 inches of front end travel. That seems to be working well, but I still think it's a little bit too quick. So definitely slow down your front ends a lot and make sure you're at a good track. Otherwise, if you're at a marginal track, the slicks work great. They just don't seem to last as long. That's one thing I've definitely seen with these radials. These radials are really old and still working well. So I am a fan of the radials, but I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to go that like 780 range with them. And we'll see what events are out there from there. I'll probably end up back on a slick doing some marginal track stuff because we're not fast enough to compete on radials. Even at 780s, when you're going to some of these events, the fast guys are more in that 750, 740 range. And we could get some lucky breaks and go some rounds, but we're just not going to be competitive on radials. But we can still have fun, and that's what we're all about. Now, this car works really, really well on a slick, on a marginal track, and that's where we could do really well. So, got a lot of ideas, and just wanted to tell you guys our recap and where we ended up, and kind of how our theories worked out. We ended up going 8.0s. We're really, really close. And hopefully this helps some guys. If you guys have any questions, I definitely learned a lot about these radials in a short amount of time, so I can definitely help you guys from that standpoint. And again, I couldn't do it without the friends and the people that support us, you guys watching these videos. That is key. That's what makes this fun. I like being around good people and working with good people, and this has been a really good year. It was a real late start, but we finished out pretty good, so we're gonna get going on this thing and start doing body work and different repairs. I got a lot of ideas for the car this winter, so probably start that in the next couple weeks, and I'll continue to update and make more videos. Like I said, any questions, just comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I appreciate you guys. Thanks.